always keeping one earmuff off my ear. And so earlier it was like, man, everybody's quiet. I've got the AC going. Wait a second. Put the other earmuff on. Things are better now.
The question is, when do we get
Yeah.
you back on camera?
That's when he gets his next computer, right? Because that was a computer issue, not a location.
Yeah, that's my laptop doesn't like to run the Twitch,
Multiple
the
things?
Foundry, and everything going on at once. And so we tried it, I think, twice, and it just started breaking everything. So we just opted for I'm not gonna run video for now until I get a new PC.
There is a potential fix for that. I don't actually keep the Twitch open. I use a program called Chatterino to keep an eye on the chat. I can get with you afterwards to get that set up potentially. It just gives you a little bit
Okay.
more customizability with your chat, and so you don't have to keep the Twitch page open, and then you could have we can test to see if that works with the video, but that's
Okay.
for another time.
Yeah, because I have the Twitch open. I just mute the tab. That way I can still go see people in chat and such.
Gotcha. Well, I think Frank has our sponsors for us this week.
Yep. All right, our first sponsor is Little Alvin. Would like to thank Monument Studios. We've been using them for some time, and it's great to have them as a sponsor for our game. They provide us with all of our in-game music and sound effects that we use, with hundreds of scores ranging from action to horror to sci-fi and even more. There's something out there for you as well to soundtrack your next adventure. They have 100% copyright-free scores and sound effects for your streaming needs and provide free content updates. You get 100% off your first month using the code WISH, W-I-S-H, for their streaming platform Fantasy Plus at fantasyplus.app, A-P-P. Again, thanks to Monument Studios, monumentstudios.net. And then our second sponsor, and we're really glad to have, is Last Bastion Studios. They make comics, toys, and recently Ultraman figures. So stay tuned for special offers, free comics, and discounts. And thank you very much for their support for our very own special brand of madness.
And you can find all our socials at the link tree in chat. For those of you who are tuning in later, it is Wurst Experts Roleplay, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much any social media site that us boomers use, because some of us are old, as Fox likes to make fun of us for. And I'll be reading the recap tonight. So, welcome back, everyone. Last we left off, the party was finishing their investigation into the Cult of Chaos in the cavern beneath the Knack Manor. The party found the final chamber, which contained a mage and 4 armed guards. After a quick conversation between Bertrand and the mage discussing the semantics of evil and good, the party entered into combat with the forces of chaos once again. During the fight, the Chaos Mage would land a devastating fireball on the party, knocking Cardinal unconscious and putting Zeke, Caligar, and Tobias at dangerous health levels. Caligar quickly healed Cardinal, getting her back onto her feet and into the fight. After defeating the enemy combatants, the party took to looting the bodies as well as a nearby room. As the party sorted through their findings, Tobias turned to address Zeke, who was nowhere to be seen. The party cautiously sorted through the rest of the gear before Zeke reappeared approximately 40 minutes later with the city guard who secured the cavern. Cardinal offered Zeke a warning about trust, and after realizing Zeke was not telling the whole truth about where he had been. The group then returned to the surface and traveled to the Square of Marshals to speak with the Marshals regarding their findings. Wary of being betrayed, Tobias scanned the rooftop for archers as he provided the receipts from the party's investigations. Werner informed him the party had been hornswoggled out of way too much money at the salon before he instructed the party to speak with the Graf of the city. Upon speaking with the Graf, the party was thanked and Caligar was gifted with an ancient set of dwarven armor. During the night, Bertrand would have a vision that granted him a magical shield. The party then rested in luxurious rooms within the keep, sleeping on plush beds with plenty of blankets and pillows to nurse their bruised and battered bodies. And that brings us tonight. No drinks.
I'm sorry.
Ah.
Can we go back to the point where you said hornswoggled? Or did I hear that wrong?
No, you heard that right.
Hornswoggle
What?
is a
It's
word.
a great word.
The fuck?
It
Yep.
means it's like to be I can't think of another word now because hornswoggled is so good.
Hornswoggled means you got hornswoggled. What's so
Yeah,
hard about this?
What's so hard about that? It means to get gypped or to get screwed over, or
Fox, to sum it up, Americans.
it doesn't actually cost that much, and we paid too much. We got hornswoggled like a bunch of tourists.
You got swindled,
23
bamboozled.
23 years alive, and I've not once heard that word.
Well, you're welcome.
White people.
Just to be clear, I knew the prices were wrong, but it wasn't our money.
Well, it was hard. Did we
True,
get reimbursed
true.
for it? Because they kind of just gave us some money. I don't know that they actually reimbursed us for anything.
Well, they gave us the money to go out and bribe people, and then we used that money.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have to find out. Getting ready for tonight, I just created a whole bunch of stuff because I have no idea which way you guys are going to go. So my list of scenes is much longer than yours.
Sorry. And one last thing. Sorry, I forgot to add the gem of seeing. The last thing I bought from the store into my inventory. How do I do this thing?
It might actually already be there.
Okay. Is that-
No. Oh, you got one to see. Okay. Oh, yeah. After this, I'll make sure that you got everything in properly.
Yeah, that was my bad. That was just I didn't think about doing it last night.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I probably should have checked beforehand to make sure, yes, you got everything. Because, yeah, I'll say you guys spent probably a good part of the day after, went to bed, carousing through the city, doing your little shopping spree, blowing a metric fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
I saved some money because money's important to my goals.
I think
thought about
I
that.
think the most frugal
Yeah.
person was Tobias. Everyone else is like, money's made for spending.
Listen, for some of the choices I have to make in the future, I needed some better armor, and I got myself some
Shiny.
better armor.
Yeah, I think the one I enjoyed the most was Hunter. Especially since he's not here to like dispute this. He was like, yeah, I'm only gonna do the one thing. I'm not gonna get two. Like, sorry to say, you have no balls. It's fine. Money's meant for spending. You're gonna get more. Okay, fine. Peer pressure for the win. Okay, so yeah, it's been like 2 days. You've done your shopping spree. Everyone's fully loaded down now with magic items. Some are extremely useful, some are funny, and some are absolutely wondrous. Um, and so you're getting ready to go on the second day. Cardinal, roll a perception test for me, if you could.
That tracks.
It's not my fault.
I mean, just get it out. Get it done with.
You're a cleric. You're supposed to be good at two things: healing people and seeing things.
Now,
Let's get the rest of you to do perception as well, because
Stoltz said he wants us to go after the people, but he hasn't told us where or how, right?
correct.
Okay.
We got 14.
Oh, that's great.
We're damn
Yeah, but okay. We'll rewind this a little bit. It's the nights that you've done your shopping. You're heading back to your wing of the palace where you've got your rooms made up for the night. and you start heading up some stairs, and Cardinal's leading the way, but she doesn't notice as there was a hidden pocket on the inside of the cloak of protection that she got, and out pops a little piece of paper. And I need to pull this up.
Flutters down to
And
the ground.
yeah, and you
Smacks
just keep
Calgar in the
walking,
face.
but it's
Servant
Calgar
sweeping
is
by
actually
you.
the one that notices it afterwards.
Ooh.
So Calgar, you pick up the piece of paper, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be the I'll just lean over real quick and pick it up off the floor. It's not that far for me. I'm already halfway there.
Okay, so you pick up the paper, you open it up, and this is what you see.
Interesting gobbledygook.
And the more you're looking at it, it seems like the writing is almost moving but not moving, and the ink that's used is like a dry dark red that is reminiscent
Mm-hmm.
of a blood color.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first off, after seeing the floating gobbledygook, I'm gonna turn to everyone else and be like, "Can anyone read this?" And I'm just gonna like flip it around and just like wave it before everybody like a sign.
Where did you
Uh,
find that?
It came out of your new cloak. But there must be an inside pocket in there.
what
Oh,
language is
good.
it written in? Well, don't think that's one I recognize.
I can do a thing to read it. Just give me a second. Where is
Yeah,
it?
I can. Do I?
Yeah. I'm going to do a thing so I can read it, which is where do I find it in here in Foundry? Here. I'm going to use comprehend languages so I can start reading the piece of paper.
Casting a spell?
Yes, because as part of my person, one of my feats gives me a use of it once per long rest for free.
Okay. I kind of hate you
So,
right now, but okay.
so what does the
Suck
mystical
it!
gobbledygook say?
What language is it written in?
The mystical gobbledygook says, "I want you to roll a sanity test for me."
Oh, yeah, figured that
Oh
was coming.
no.
All right, sanity is just a d20, or how do I do that?
Under attributes.
It's in attributes, yeah.
Attributes. Oh, there is a sanity. Okay,
And let's
so
actually
that's
make it
a
a save. Make it a save.
doesn't make. Okay. It's a +0 anyway. We'll see what happens. Yep, that's what I figured. I'm very rapidly becoming the insane dwarf. I should have made my guy a slayer.
Okay, so you cast the spell and you're able to like the words kind of morph from not being recognizable to your comprehension understands them as abyssal in nature, but the manner in which they're written and the content and more than likely the um, like the magic that's kind of inherent in the chaotic nature of the world you're still not able to fully decipher it. Unless you want to try and press further.
Screw it, why not?
Okay. Sanity save at disadvantage.
Oh no.
So you're trying to read it, and you're just staring intently at it, and all expression's gone from your face. Do you want to keep trying? And everyone else, like, you're watching, like, he starts to, like, you see the interest, like, oh, I can cast a spell, I read this now. And then it's like, just life is draining from his face.
Perhaps we have to just give this to someone who's more experienced with these kinds of artifacts, like Alucard.
I'm assuming at this point, if like my face is just like, boneless right now, I'm kind of like dazed out.
Take
You having
that as
problems,
a
short stack?
Go with a... Let's do an intelligence save.
Oh, sorry.
Something I'm good at.
Oh, right. Thank God.
Normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear Cardinal's voice. You can't make out the words she's saying to you. It sounds like she's across a wide lake.
Kind of like that.
More
I
or
hear a
less.
voice. I just don't know what it's saying.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, since I can't hear what it's saying, and I'm just going to be staring at the piece of paper because nobody's told me pulled it out of my hands.
I was literally miming taking it out of his hands, rolling it up.
Take an arrow and I'm
Well,
gonna poke him with it.
First, what happens with the 12?
boy.
Please tell me this was a low DC.
As you're staring at it, Cardinal's still talking, and her words are starting to come a little more crisp to you. So you can hear, like, there's a note of concern in her voice, but you still can't quite make out what she's saying.
Okay. Seeing as he isn't responding,
Okay,
I will actually
so what? Okay.
get from his hand. Thank you.
Okay,
Roll
so
Cardinal, roll a strength test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Athletics,
Which
which is
means
straight.
Yeah.
I would assume whichever one you're better at.
16.
Okay, you manage to pry it away from him, and it takes a moment for recognition to come back to his eyes.
Let's hold off on inspecting.
Okay, so
random
how
arcade stores.
sorry. How much does my sanity drop? 2?
I haven't decided yet.
One and a half?
I'll let you know.
He's deciding how much he likes you. Quick,
It's still early. It's still early.
Give him compliments. Tell him how
Where did
great
this come from,
the DM
Cardinal?
he is. Offer to buy him some Warhammer minis, something.
I
Bribery,
can't
man.
afford my own dog food right now, so Warhammer minis are out there.
Flattery, then.
Yeah. Oh. I really appreciate the crazy chaos that I'm going to be able to do because of the magic items you gave me, or I bought for myself.
Tobias, what are you saying?
Cardinal, this came from you. What is it?
It came from the cloak, not from me, my friends.
Well,
Probably
either it
some
was in the
remnants.
cloak or someone slipped it to you.
No, I just got the cloak.
Yeah, I'm going to be standing here dazed, just kind of like I'm still daydreaming, but I'm not obviously just, going completely nuts.
Cardinal, my friend, where did you get that cloak? Because I wasn't there when you guys looted the cavern.
I believe it was. I can't remember. Hold on. Oh, from the cavern. Oh yeah, I got it off the cultists. Was it the priest? Did I get it off the priest?
It was in one of the chests in the hidden room.
It was in one of the chests. There was a hidden room too. That's where we got all the money from.
Okay. I wasn't told about the items. Trust does go both ways. But Tobias,
Don't make me kick your ass.
I would believe that this means that this may have been in the cloak the whole time, and the cultists don't know that we have this note.
Good point. Good point.
Oh.
And but it might be protected by some chaos magic. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my dwarven friend here. I'm just gonna kind of pat Caligar
I'm
on
blindly
the back.
I'm blindly staring into the wall.
I'm just gonna try to
Yeah.
pat Caligar on the back and do a little nice friendly rub on the back of the upper shoulder blade area. Just like, are you okay, friend? I'm gonna speak
By the way,
dwarven to him.
you're trying to like rub my shoulder through plate mail. So
Well, then I'm giving him a nice like little shake from the plate mail, just speaking dwarven to him. Are you okay, my friend? See if shaking him brings him
I'm
back a
gonna
little
like
bit.
shake my head, and then like with my right hand, I'm gonna slap my face real quick, and kind of slap myself out of it.
Yeah, Calgar, you kind of feel like you almost experienced eternity by staring at that piece of paper.
Okay, all right, let's. All right, so after you see me slap myself, kind of shake my head. That paper is dangerous, weird. It's there's something strange with those letters and words. Even when I was supposed to, I couldn't read it. It was slow and I kind of like start drifting off again as I think about it.
Oh, okay. Well, shall we get out of this place? Perhaps.
I
Yes.
think what my dwarven friend here needs is another beard braiding at the salon.
Well, it's evening right now, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point, you're probably looking at about like 10 o'clock at night.
Well, we can always go tomorrow morning or something.
Well, I think we should talk to our host, the Graph, find out if there's a place we can take this note, this letter, that would be able to better study it, figure out what it is.
Maybe the temple and the high priest of Sigmar, Werner Stoltz.
Yeah, the priests might know something more about it.
I think that's what we should do in the morning.
Is that some makeup again?
Making my way.
All right, so you guys are going to take that in the morning to go see the priests?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And I assume the rest of the night you're just going to chill and make merry and avoid reading the cursed paper?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Mostly
raid
because
the
it's in my
Graph's.
protection.
I'm gonna raid the Graph's liquor cabinet, find his finest bottle of liquor.
His finest bottle of liquor
Liquor, yes.
or strongest alcohol? So those are two very different things.
Finest.
Okay. Yeah, you find. Let me pull up a map of the world. You go searching through. Roll history for me. So you go searching through the liquor cabinets, and you've had your fair share of why am I blanking on this? Experience with like good high quality alcohol. Um, and you find tucked in the very back corner and covered with enough dust that you're sure it's been there for well over a century. You find a bottle of vodka from Prague that is from one of the greatest years they've ever had.
Well, I'll take it. I'll pour myself one drink. That's all, and a drink for anyone else who's with me.
Certainly.
All right, one for
I've
Cardinal.
never had this Prague liquor before.
And that's it. I just relax with my fine
Okay.
liquor.
Just the two of you?
I find a servant and ask for, their finest tea. Maybe with a little honey and lemon.
Sorry, you cut out their finest which?
Tea?
Tea?
Tea. I don't drink. Ezekiel doesn't drink. He wants some
Okay.
nice hot
Um,
tea, honey and lemon, please.
yeah, he comes back for you with a cup of tea after a few minutes, and it's about average because this city is not known for their tea.
That's fine.
You see Cardinal look over and just
And Cardinal Tobias, when you take that the one drink, it goes down smooth, and you feel it, but you don't. Like there's that slight burning sensation, but it's a nice burn as it goes down, and then it just makes you feel all like warm and fuzzy inside.
So, Cardinal, you're not from this continent, right?
no. What gave it to me?
Well, you've mentioned a place I don't think I'd ever heard of. So
Int. Yes, it's quite far away from here. I travel a lot.
just on walkabout or anything important?
I go where the earth takes me and where I'm needed.
How do you know?
It's a you develop an intuition at some point.
Insight check.
Do it.
Sure, roll it.
I'm so good at inciting. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I'm
what are you
lying out of my
trying?
ass. I'm bullshitting.
All right.
All right.
I'm appearing really wise while I'm talking about jack shit.
I just give her a wink and go, I know all about intuition.
So, what intuition led you to join us in this little group?
Where did we meet? Did we meet in this city? Sorry, it's 4 a.m.
No, you met out. You've been adventuring together for a couple weeks before everything kicked off here.
Let's just say I saw a certain need within the group, certain area which I could fulfill. And by that I mean if I'd left there all alone for 5 minutes, he would probably fall into a hole and die and never come out.
True. True.
I pointedly look at you. I live in holes. I will not get lost in one.
I'm a
You'd
rogue. I
find
don't
one with
fall in
like a
holes.
demon at the bottom that would just eat you instantly. You just read an infernal type of scroll and lost your mind for a second there. You have no right to come and talk to me. You sit in that corner and think about what you did.
I'm gonna pull up my tankard while everyone else is drinking and take a swig.
Anyways, what's his name? Ezekiel. I wanted to ask you. You disappeared for a while there.
Hmm.
It was slightly concerning.
I'm sorry. I should have announced that I was going to get the city guard.
Like, still so next time.
Yeah, it does. I'm not giving you any more than that.
Yet.
Takes time. Not my strong suit, wisdom. If it was, I wouldn't have gotten into this predicament.
Our predicament?
No, the whole, dishonored my family, trying to rebuild my
Dishonored
noble
my cow.
household. Yeah.
Why am I thinking of Mulan right now? Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Yeah, everything. They took it all. I need money.
They did or you did?
Well, I spent it on booze, and then they came and they were like, "Hey, you kind of haven't paid your taxes," and and then they're like, "This isn't your house anymore." So took myself up to a nice waterfall, drank my way to the edge of the bridge, tried to jump, and something stopped me. So I changed my life around.
Well, for
DM.
what this worth, glad you're
What's-
with us. You make for an interesting companion.
How much would a house cost in Middenheim? Just a low-end house in here.
How much would a cheap house in Middenheim cost?
Yeah.
That's a question for Azrael.
That's a good question.
You can make it up. It's not that.
Let's. You know what? Roll for history because you might know.
Can I roll as well? Since
Sure.
it's Empire related.
Fuck. A low end house, you're probably looking at about. Let's just go with the modern day price. 50 grand? And that's for like. It's like dilapidated, real fixer upper. The rats don't want to be seen in it type of place.
Middenheim isn't cheap. It has a history of, protecting its citizens. So even the cheap houses started around 50 grand.
50,000.
That doesn't
So-
even touch a drop in the bucket as to my family's house. That isn't my family's house anymore.
So you're on your way, but you're not there yet.
Nowhere close. The amount of money I owed, I'm lucky they just took everything and said, we'll call it even.
That was going to be my next question.
They took everything. I took a couple of bottles off the shelf and had the money in my pocket.
What about yourself, friend Tobias? What's your story?
Just out, kind of making my name away from my father and my mother.
Interesting. Don't
Maybe-
really see us ending up fighting chaos cultists. But it's fun.
Yeah, I've
What
heard
made-
of weirder, but it's a new one for me too.
What made you want to leave your father and your mother?
They were both overbearing. I mean, fine people, but one wanted to go one way, the other wanted to go the other, and here's me fighting chaos agents in a city several 100 miles away.
You forge your own path. It's worthy cause.
I wouldn't say it's my battle, but getting paid.
You guys ever hear about a Archibald? Let me know. He kind of undermined me while I was drinking, and I'd like to return the favor someday.
Archibald, what family is he from?
I
noble
didn't give
house?
him a last name in my backstory. So, Fairchild. Fairchild. I did give him a backstory a name in my backstory.
Nope, never heard of him.
He's from. Is it Altdorf? I always mix up the two.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Altdorf, just north of here. Next major
Hmm.
Empire City capital, where I'm from.
South of here.
South of here, north of here.
There's even a map you can click.
Listen,
I'm sure we can keep an eye out for him.
yep,
Stay
south of
back
here on the
favor.
river. Beautiful city. I'd love to get back there sometime.
Booty, roll a history for me.
Attributes, history. Not good, not bad.
So, as you're having this conversation and you mention Altdorf, beautiful city, you'd like to get back there, a very faint memory pops into your head that might be helpful for that sheet of paper. But there's a university and a great library in Altdorf.
There is a university and a great library. I was privileged enough to get to go to that university until I flunked out from being too drunk all the time. I can barely remember it, It was like a haze, them college days. They get wild.
Oh, well,
Might be a good place to take that note.
if the other guy doesn't pan out, then we can try this university.
A lot of hoity-toity folk there, though. They get uppity about the prestigiousness of their school, I believe. I don't really remember.
It's actually known for being open to middle class, so it's a wide variety of socioeconomics that go there.
Well, this is
Just
fair with
joking.
the middling history check I had, so...
You stuck to the higher end classes and you didn't associate with those low born fools.
I drank a lot. It's not my fault.
Do you think the chaos forces are still ravaging the wastelands?
I think they've probably... I don't know. We could find out from the city guards or somebody, but my guess is they got what they came for, and now they'll regroup for their next attack.
All right. Guess we wait till the morning. Ask Stoltz.
Finish my tea and I go to bed.
Everyone's good. Everyone heads to bed.
Before Cardinal leaves the room, I'm going to wander over to her and reach into my bag and pull out a very dwarfish, but that rune tankard that I made over the night, and it to her and say, "Drink with caution."
A worthy gift. That's the second one today. First, I owe you my life. I'll pay you
Well,
back
you saved
someday.
mine first. So now we can be drinking friends.
Interesting.
And I hold up my tankard and I smack it against yours in a new toast as I take back a big ol' swig.
Perhaps I should not be mixing alcohol.
Both of you Constitution saves. So you
I
both
mean, it
you
fits
go
for
you
right
go to take
now.
a swig, but Calgar, like the taste of it is just all you're thinking of is home. That your swig turns into you just chugging that mug. And Cardinal, you're a little more reserved because you're still not used to it yet. But you both finish taking your drink. You bring your mugs down. You stare at each other, and there's a pause. You don't say anything, and then both of you keel over backwards and collapse, snoring on the floor. You are fucking gone.
Yeah, because by the way, this is the strong ale. That this is the special stuff. So yeah, That's why
Sounds
you're
about
out on the
right.
floor.
It's what dwarves drink in a hurry to get really, really drunk.
Oops.
Good stuff.
Okay. And Ezekiel and Tobias, you hear the clattering of armor against the stone floors outside your rooms.
I go out, see the dwarf passed out in full plate armor, and I go try to find some servants to help me carry these two to their rooms because I'm not very strong.
I grab the blanket off my bed and I throw it over the dwarf. And I just go back to sleep.
You throw it over the door?
I only have the one blanket, otherwise I would have done Cardinal too.
Oh,
Just
dwarf. I thought you said door. I was so
No,
confused.
dwarf, sorry.
No. It was
like
my
just in the
cat.
middle of the hallway. You're not gonna like help move him or anything. You just cover him in a blanket.
I don't want to scratch up the floors.
That's fair.
You just left me there. I will find you, Tobias. I will remember this.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
I will when I wake up in the morning. Maybe.
You don't even know what
So
happened.
Zeke comes back with a couple of the house staff, and they're looking at the two on the ground. They're kind of going back and forth. They
All
point
hell.
Well,
at
apparently it looks
they
like a
point at
big
Cardinal,
shepherd.
and they're like, "That one I can help you with. That one, I think it's best if he just sleeps it off here."
As long as you are okay with that, I am perfectly fine with that. And I'll grab one of the many plush pillows off my bed and gently lift Caligar's head up and slide a nice pillow underneath, and then follow the servants back to Cardinal's quarters and make sure they get her in her bed okay, and then go back to my room and go to bed.
They get her into bed, and like she's so out of it. Like they put her on her back, and she immediately like flips onto her stomach, and then like for some reason she finds it comfortable to be on her chest and on her knees, so her butt's sticking up in the air, and it's the most awkward sleeping position you've ever seen.
I'm
Not
just
for
gonna
style.
make sure she's
But just
covered.
like full bore, like no chainsaw level snoring going on right now.
Make sure she's covered with a blanket, and then make my way out of the room after blowing out the candles. Make sure they put a glass of water next to her bed and the medieval equivalent of aspirin.
They come back with three, and they're like, "We've seen the effects of bugmans before. We know how to handle them. She'll be fine
Thank you.
eventually."
Thank you for taking care of my friends, and then I'll go back to bed.
Okay. So then the night passes. Nothing really, happens tonight. You're in one of the most secure places you can be in the city, and next morning comes around, and Ezekiel and Tobias, you wake up feeling well refreshed, and Cardinal, you wake up and it feels like you put your head inside of a dwarven forge, and there's constant hammers pounding on the inside of your skull. Calgar, you wake up, find yourself staring at the ceiling, and again, you actually feel pretty good because you're used to this level of drunk.
He has
I,
arrived.
I'd like to go to Cardinal's room and just pound on the door nice and early in the morning. I'd like to think, since I don't drink, I got up right around sunrise.
You just hear something hit the door.
I'm just gonna turn the handle and crack the door open and be like, "Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
I will kill you.
Are you decent?"
You just see a mound of blankets on the bed.
And I'm gonna let myself in, do the old, crack open the curtains to let the sunrise in. Shut the door and just be like, "So, mano a mano, mano a womano." What would the version of that be? I'm not sure.
Get on with it.
Last night you weren't fully telling the truth. at the table. Kind of
Booty, your
hypocritical.
mic keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, you keep
Okay.
coming in and out.
How about now? Is this better?
Talk?
Hello? Okay, so last night at the table, you made some. You said that you follow your intuition as to knowing where to go, and between you and I, one liar
You're
to.
still
No,
cutting
still
in and
cutting
out.
out.
Okay.
think
Not
he's
that Victor
fixing
was
it.
saying something there.
It's Cardinal trying to ignore whatever he's saying for like 5 minutes. Won't stop talking.
Everybody just has Cardinal's hearing for a minute.
Cover your
Yes.
ears, and it's like you
Word
just pull off.
guard
Like
gone.
he's still talking.
Okay. So I'm going to say, one liar to another. How do you really determine where you go and what you're supposed to be doing? Because you and I both know you aren't
Yes.
telling the truth.
This is a question you want to ask me this early in the morning.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and I just sort of go places, okay? Well, why were you lying when you went to go find the guard? What else did you do since we're here and having this delightful conversation?
I was taking care of other business that I still don't
Tell
want
me
to
the fucking
discuss, and
truth,
then I walked
or
out of
I
the
will
room.
leave you in a ditch. Right. I'm going to kill you just once I get out of this bed.
I'm just gonna very loudly shut the door behind me as I go, that's a story for another time. Slam.
Curses.
And I go get some breakfast and some nice hot coffee or tea.
All right, I guess at breakfast I'll ask the Graf if Stoltz is going to be at his temple.
Hold on one sec.
So Hunter, what you've missed so far is we have a piece of paper that has like chaos words written on it. I tried to read it with the comprehend languages. It did not work.
He continued to push. It still didn't work very well, and we don't know how much sanity he lost.
Yeah, I'm slowly going insane. And then later on in the night,
First rule of
me.
reading chaos: don't.
And
Oh,
then
you
later
were
on in the
oddly
night,
silent.
me and Cardinal got super drunk because I gave her a rune tinker that has bugmans in it. And so we both took knocked it back and collapsed on the floor.
Sounds like me right now, but not that
I
drunk.
was I was left on the floor and I was given a blanket and a pillow, and then Cardinal was brought to her room, and then you came in right when the morning came, and Cardinal has post hangover
I turned on Twitch
conversation.
when Azrael made you guys roll Constitution saving throws.
Okay. And that's what we've done so far.
But me personally, I am pretty fucking drunk, buzzed, not drunk. So I'm ready to go.
It's gonna be a good time,
It's gonna be a great time.
especially with the voice.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah, you guys come down in the morning. And Tobias, you said you were doing something?
Yeah, just going to talk to the Graf, ask him if Stoltz is going to be at his temple.
I would assume so. It's where he lives. It's dawn. It's a good bet he'd be there. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. I'll tell him that did the vodka have a name on it? Well, I'll tell him about the bottle of vodka and tell him it was delightful.
He thinks for a second and goes, vodka? I didn't even know we had any.
Well, it's now at the front of the liquor cabinet. It's amazing. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then you hear faintly coming from like the outside of the grass door, just one voice shrieking, "They fucking opened what?" He goes, I think that was an expensive bottle you opened.
Yeah, it was great.
I would leave before the butler finds out that you did that.
Why does the
He
butler
he
not want
take
any?
it's technically mine because I own it. But the collection is really his.
Well, then share some with him. Just one drink. It was amazing.
I don't touch his liquor. I don't. I've got a separate store in my personal quarters of what I drink, and yeah, if it's in one of those like public displays, it's more of an art piece than an actual. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I I'd be concerned for your safety. I don't know if the guards can protect you adequately from this man.
All right. Well, then I'll thank him on the way out.
I'm going to, as I stand, I'm going to go, there's a little tea shop in Outdorf that you could get some better teas from. Let me know if you'd like the name of that sometime. Finish my tea and
I don't want anything to do with Altdorf.
okay. Insight
Sorry.
check.
Roll it.
What's wrong with Altdorf?
You know that the different electric counts, they're very insular. They pay homage to the emperor in the capital, but it hasn't always been the capital. Usually, the capital changes depending on who's the emperor. And Middenheim tends to think themselves better, mainly because they're the ones that are being attacked most. So they think they're the stronger of the cities, and they kind of view Altdorf as more prissy. Like it's more for show than function.
I understand your reservations about my hometown, but there are some nice things there. And,
You cut out again.
son of a gun. I just tell him that I understand your reservations about my hometown, but there are some nice things there. I think you would enjoy some of the finer teas there. You guys do have good liquor here, though.
I'm sure there are some fine things there. I would rather be a man.
Fair enough.
Liking good things doesn't affect your gender. I walk in. Now, where's the coffee?
There's some coffee out on the veranda.
Oh no, bring it inside. There's too much sun.
I mean, you could bring it in, but my servants usually leave the coffee and then disappear because they know that I prefer to take my breakfast on my own.
Oh boy. Ezekiel.
Unless you're saying you want me to go get you coffee.
No,
Um,
no.
no.
Ezekiel can do it.
I think you're capable of getting your own coffee. And then I walk out. Trying not to show that I'm slightly offended at the comments about Altdorf.
I'm gonna head out to the veranda and get the biggest goblet I can find and bring it back to Cardinal.
You are my favorite. I will kill stick you later. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's a
Talking
nice
is
spread
good
of
stuff,
breakfast.
isn't
You got some cheeses, and you got some meats, and you got some bagels. I don't know. Whatever else you want to think of for a good breakfast. Fruits, stuff like that.
Bagels?
Why would you not have
Bagels.
bagels?
Bagels?
Yeah,
He's
Bagels?
Canadian. He's Canadian. They pronounce things
bagels.
differently.
It. Okay, you know what? You're gonna go out on the veranda. Fucking hosers.
Wait, French, wouldn't
Anyways,
it be veranda?
I'm not French. What? No.
Canadians
Anyways,
who
moving
speak
on.
French.
Do you want to know the extent of my French? Je ne peux pas français. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Oh no, we surrender.
Oh no.
I'm
Oh,
sorry
I
to
take
any.
offense, good sir.
I'm sorry to any French people.
I am part French. Not joking.
just be glad Kai Venom's not here.
She is in spirit.
That's the only reason he's getting out of this without his ass kicked.
Okay, so you guys just there for coffee? You're gonna have breakfast with them? You're gonna head out? What you doing?
Yeah, head out to Stoltz's temple. That's number 10 on the map, right? Or is it somewhere else? 28. Okay.
I
Oh,
think.
there it is. Temple of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're all heading over there, on the way, I'd like to pull out my deck and just draw a couple cards.
All right, let's see what you got. How many? How many
I'm
cards
going
specifically?
to. I am going to draw 4.
Okay.
Interesting. All right, and then I drag and drop into the chat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I need to do one at a time, or can I do multiple?
One at a time, because so
One at-
how it works out is you draw the cards, and you don't have to draw them. You say that you're going to draw so many of them, and you don't have to draw them all at once. But as long as if you need to do it, the one card within an hour of the first card, or
This
of the
isn't the
previous
deck
card.
of many things, is it?
No,
Deck
no, no,
of
no, no,
Wonder.
no, no.
Oh, thank
The deck of
God.
wonder. It's
It was
not
the
the deck
deck
of many
things. I would have bought it.
things.
I mean, if
I
I had the
pulled 6
opportunity
cards.
to give Harold the deck of many things, I would have done it.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so just note down this stuff here, Calgar.
Yep.
So you get
Ironically, out of the 13 possible cards, there was only 2 that are actually bad, and I got both.
so you flip over the first card, the night card, and like it's the sun's just starting to crest over the walls of the city, but you find that your vision, which is normally restricted in the darkness to about 60 feet, is now pushing a lot further. So you're getting dark vision out to 300 feet now. And
And
you
I'm
flip
I'm just gonna draw the other 3 at the same time.
okay. You flip over the end card. Uh,
Yep.
Wow, good job, good job.
Ironically, the next card cancels it out. Well, somewhat.
This is so the end card is an omen of death. You take 2d10 necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're. Let's go off of mine. You take 7,
Oh.
and that also reduces your maximum HP.
Mm-hmm.
Permanently?
No. It reduces it until my next long rest, or conveniently, we're heading to a temple. uh, if someone does a remove curse or similar spell, the effect ends.
You flip over your third card, which is the beginning, which does the exact opposite. You feel that surge of healing power enter your body, and you heal back. 9. So you actually are in a positive for the next 8 hours until you take a long rest. Or sorry, no, your next 8 hours. And the last one is the monster card.
Do these cards get recycled back into the deck?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
once
wow.
once the effect comes out, then
It
it
lasts
just
forever.
disappears and goes back in.
Basically think of the Deck of Wonder as a minor version of the Deck of Many Things. It works in the exact same way. It's a deck of tarot cards that you pull out the card, the effect happens, and then the card reappears inside the deck.
I do not have remove curse yet.
They don't last long. It's until a long rest, and they're not really that terrible.
Oh, well.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
you flip over the monster card, and it's this fanged monstrosity, and it almost looks like the face is laughing at you as a curse is applied. And for every saving throw, you must roll a d4 and subtract that from your total.
It's like Bane.
Basically, I'm Bane. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Bane, and for the day or until again remove curse or something similar. All
So
right.
yeah,
So, yeah. I'm gonna keep it at those 4 for now because I'm assuming by this time we're at the temple.
yeah, that'd take you about the 15 minutes to get there.
Do I get a sense of that dark magic and then the radiant magic and then the curse happening?
Yeah, it's all just like little pulses of light, different colors have flashed out. So most of it's like tonight. There's a bit of a purplish there. The end is more bluish black. Beginning is that like yellowish radiant flash, and then the monster is like a dark tinged red.
I'm gonna look over at Calgar. Never mind.
So there's worse than me, and then I walk ahead towards the temple.
I am going to get you. You watch your back tonight.
I'm always watching my back. And then I look back over my shoulder.
Okay, so you walk up to the temple, and significantly different from your first visit there, where you had rivers of blood flowing down from the steps. Um, there's still faint traces here and there as you're entering in, but the priests that survived are being very diligent in cleaning up from the massacre that happened within. And they're focused on their job. The doors are wide open, letting some air in, and they're not even looking at you.
Is there a like alms box, or I don't know what it would be called, but like church donation money box thing?
You find where there was one, and it looks like it was ripped off the wall.
I'm going to find one of the priests diligently cleaning some blood, and I will give them let's say 20 silver.
Okay. Are you telling him why?
Just to help as much as I can with the repairs. It's not a lot, but it's something. And then
Okay. I just want to know if you're saying like this is for the temple and whatever,
yeah,
or if
this
you're
is
just
for
handing him a bunch of money and being like, "Here you go, buddy."
no. This is for the temple. I was here the night that it all happened. I'm sorry, and
He bows and nods and said, "Yes, thank you. We're well aware of who you are and what you've done. We appreciate the." He looks at the silver, the generosity.
I'm just gonna cough and cheese yank my arm. Why don't you? And I'll give him 15 gold.
This is much appreciated now. Thank you. And he just kind of slips it into a fold in his robes.
Mm-hmm. Continue looking for Stolz. Werner. I'll ask him. Do you know where the high
Schultz.
priest is? Werner Stolz.
Schultz.
Stolz. Stolz.
Oh. Hmm.
Anytime he said it, there has been the S in there. Stolz.
Has there?
Yeah.
No. Stolz.
Is it
Stolz.
German?
Most names in the Empire are Germanic in nature.
Ezekiel von Mildenstein.
It's
Guten-
Mildenstein, but okay.
Yeah. Guten Abend, Frau.
Oh, I know less German than I know French, and this is hurting my head. Yeah. See, you mentioned asking for Schultz, and the priest you handed the money to says he looks outside to see the color of the sky, and he goes, "He's usually up by now. I'd say give him 15 minutes. He might be out." He actually doesn't spend much time in the morning in the temple. He likes to wander through the streets and see what help the people need.
A true man of the Empire. And I'm going to go sit down in one of the pews and patiently wait.
Seeing Ezekiel do that, I'm gonna hand a bag of coins to the priest who's cleaning up. And it's just 276 copper.
He opens it up, looks in, and just kind of like looks back at you, stares, and goes, "Thank you. Thank you very
And
much
then-
for your generous donation to the Temple of Sigmar."
And then I'm gonna start waggling my fingers and helping to clean up.
Are we
I'll
talking
walk.
waggle or waggle?
You know, seeing Tobias do that, I will cast Mage Hand and grab a rag from somewhere, like a bucket or whatever, dip it in water, and, grab some of the hard-to-reach places with my Mage Hand.
Once you're sitting there, you're looking around, you are seeing like some of the arcs of blood did go far up these walls, like probably a good 20 feet up. There's at
Perfect.
least some splashes up there.
I got 30 feet of Mage Hand, so I'm getting the hard-to-reach places up above.
Anything else you guys are doing while you're waiting?
I'll fill it with a couple more cards.
Oh, good God.
Man.
Okay.
Can I look around doing and ask a priest, perhaps, do you have a receptacle of holy water that one could acquire since we are fighting chaos? That would help.
Yeah, I'm just looking for something. Give me 1 sec. Holy water's not really in our purview. We have holy hammers, but holy water would be more along the lines of the Temple of Shalia.
We have the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
I can't deal with him being that drunk.
I'm sorry. Bertrand is chiming in randomly. It's great.
Anything else? We good? Waiting still?
Just
Okay, we're just waiting on the guy to show up.
cleaning and
Okay.
waiting.
Okay. So yeah, about 10 minutes later, Schultz walks out from one of the back rooms and approaches the altar, sees you, Looks over and says, I have a feeling you're here to see me. And it's clear like he's been up since the crack of dawn. He is not a morning person, but he doesn't do coffee. So he just suffers through it as like a form of
Masochism.
self-flagellance.
Mm.
Hmm. Yes, our friend here, the cleric, found some cardinal, found a piece of paper that the dwarf looked at and made him all loopy for a little bit, and we were hoping that someone of your stature might be able to provide better insight into it and withstand the effects.
What do you
Would
mean it made the
I
dwarf
would be
loopy?
I would be careful with that piece of paper. It's like time was slow and the letters moved.
Which one of you has the? Just show me the paper. It's the best
Yeah,
way.
put it in his head.
He looks at it. He unfolds it, looks at it, and the moment his eyes fall to lettering, he immediately closes it and hands it back. Says, "You were dumb enough to read that."
Could have had information.
He
We're
sounds
I'm
surprised.
sure it does have information, but I can tell you just the manner in which it's written. I'm sure if you were able to read it, you know the wording is abyssal, and it's the runes that are used by not just not just forces of chaos, but the words and the lettering is bound with the very essence. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase, "When you look into the abyss looks back to you." That's what happened. You weren't just reading what was there, is you were peering beyond the veil into the realm of the chaos gods, and they were staring back at you.
I'm
Now,
just gonna
do
be
I know what it
nodding my head
says?
as he talks.
Do I know what it
Interesting.
says? No. Are there places you can find out what it says? Yes. He kind of looks at Ezekiel and goes, "You seem like you've got like a knowing look there, like you know where I'm going to suggest."
The university in Altdorf.
You could try the library there.
Hmm.
Um, I wish you luck on that. The attendants are all priests of, I want to say Verena. I'll look it up later, but whatever. Who's the god of knowledge? And for something like that, that would be in a restricted section that the general populace tend to not have access to.
Could you
Can you give
provide
us a letter of
us?
recommendation?
I could, I just don't think it's going to make any difference for you. There is another option that's a little further afield. Um, might have better success there. And he looks at the two elves in the party and says, "How do you feel about a trip going home?"
Wait, there's two elves in the party?
I was about to say, which party are we looking at?
Are there not?
There's one elf.
There's Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias is half elf.
Who's the second one? Ezekiel.
Yeah, there's only one person whom I don't directly speak to.
Guilty. No, I'm just kidding.
Ezekiel's the other one. Don't make me question everything.
I'm a von
And
Mildenstein.
yeah, with ears like that, you absolutely are von Mildenstein. But you may learn some stuff, may be able to get more information from the lore masters of Hoth on Oath 1. And just for simplicity,
LP.
to make it simple for everybody, roll history.
Tobias is lost because that's not his home.
You've all heard of it though. Um, Tobias, it's more of a name of legend for you. It's the ancestral home of elves. You know very little about it. Um, Ezekiel, what side of the family is the elvish side?
Do I have an oversight in my family?
You made it a half elf character. I'm gonna assume you did.
It's not a half elf. He's human. Variant human.
Was he?
Yeah.
Did we not have a second elf? I thought we did.
Somebody
Not as far as
fucked
I know.
up.
Whatever.
No, that's why I was like, where did this attack on the von Mildensteins come from?
Yeah. Jeez, I'm
We're a
from
noble,
Marienburg. I don't think there's anything over there.
we're
No.
a noble
Okay.
family from Altdorf.
Why was I thinking there was a second half elf?
That's why we were all confused.
Maybe
My bad.
because
I was half elf, half genasi.
Maybe because Bertrand was
No.
Fey.
No. Oh well, whatever. Okay, we got one elf.
And Tobias just looks at the party and goes, I don't know where that is.
So then, Ezekiel, in your well-read, clearly human knowledge,
Drunken human studying at university knowledge.
yes.
That
And Bertrand, you both know that Ulthuan is the ancestral home of the elves, and it is an island that is west of Bretonia.
How long would roughly would the travel be to get there?
Can you repeat that for sake of brevity of me not listening?
You know that Ulthuan is the ancestral home of elves. West of Bretonia is an island. How
Got
long
it.
would it take you to get there? Considering you'd have to cross half of the Empire and the entirety of Bretonia while going over the Grey Mountains or around the Grey Mountains and then cross the Sea of Chaos, it's not a short trip.
Why would they be better than Altdorf?
The library at Altdorf is maybe 1,000 years old. The lore masters of Hoth have been gathering knowledge for 5,000 years. And some of the elves that are there, I don't think you'd see any that be that old. But you got a couple that are at least a couple thousand years old. So have experience with the knowledge. I just think you have a better shot if you go out there. But by all means, try your luck at Altdorf. I just don't think it's going to work out that well for you.
I have always wanted to visit the elves.
I have a look of disgust on my face.
Tobias does too.
I'm going to say, my party may have more questions for you, but I'd like to thank you for your time. And I step out of the
Just
temple.
kind of waves. He's still very tired, clearly.
I say we go to Altdorf. I think that's the better solution than dealing with the elves. Or those elves. Yeah, the elves.
I look at you surprised, and I'm like, I never thought I would agree with an Elkie, but I agree.
Once I'm outside in a sufficient distance away from the temple where can I find like a quiet corner, like dark quiet corner for a second?
Sure, you slip into an alley.
Cool. I would like to just say out loud but quietly, my lady, I don't know if you're watching or listening, but I don't know whether I should return home or not, or go to the Elven City. if you have any guidance or instruction. Yeah, you know how to contact me. And then I'm going to make my way out of the alley if nothing happens after like 30 seconds to a minute. All right.
All right, I say we go out, collect Ezekiel. I haven't heard any other words other than Altberg.
Altdorf?
Altdorf.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, time to
I
prepare
think we
for a
should at
trip.
least try Altdorf first before we rely on
I'll just be casually leaning against a tree, picking my nails with a dagger, making sure they're nice and clean.
And then with that second set of cards that I was fiddling with while we were waiting for Stoltz to show up, 2 of those I actually need you to do a thing for, Richter. The chaos and knife both require DM input.
Put them in the chat.
Yeah, they're in chat. They're right above the history chat.
Oh, okay.
The first and the fourth one are where they're just passive things, but
Mhm.
the second and the third both require DM input.
Yeah, so you flip over the champion card, and there's a surge of energy that goes down your arms and focuses in your gauntlets and spreads into the hammer of your weapon, or into the head of your hammer. You flip over the chaos card. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chaos is nifty. It's not my favorite one, but it's nifty. The next one.
So that one's going to give you resistance to fire, and that lasts for...
Slightly ironic that I'm already resistant to it with your amazing armor you gave me.
that's going to last for 11 days.
So I'm extra resistant.
The knife card. An uncommon magic weapon you're proficient with appears in your hands. Huh.
Yep.
That's going to take a minute.
Yeah, this is why I started laughing that I was the one who happened to get this deck of wonder. Because
And then for the next 8 hours, you add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. That's cool too.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
want a deck
that's
of wonders.
it.
No.
Hi guys, I can make magic items out of the block.
That's
Okay, so you guys are
Sorry.
deciding that you're going to go to Altdorf. Okay. So if you're looking
Yeah.
at the map of the old world, straight line through the woods is 150 miles. How do you want to travel there?
What are our options?
Walking?
No,
You could
horses.
walk. You can try and find horses. You can try and charter a couple boats to take you down the river.
If
Probably
anybody
find
suggests a
some
horse,
work with the Adventurers Guild. See if there's any caravans you can go as protection detail on. There's so many different
if
options.
if anybody tries to suggest a horse, I will give you a side eye. And
I say
just
we
the
grab a
most
boat. Take a boat down the river to Altdorf.
Yeah.
I vote
Stop
boat
fast.
or work on the caravan for more money.
yes, the boat would cost money.
Yeah.
I think the protection detail might be a good option to make more money.
Plus, who's gonna fuck with
Like
the heroes that just fought chaos inside the city of Middenheim?
More
Chaos.
chaos fuckers.
Fought the forces of chaos inside the city of Middenheim.
We don't know. They're all gone.
All right.
They
Well,
might be hiding in the forest.
yeah. Well, where do we go to get signed on to a caravan?
Um,
You can go to the Adventurers Guild. They'll have postings there. As you get in, there's a board that has various schedules of different caravans going out. You see one that plans to be making several stops at small villages on the way south. There's that one will pay you about 1,000 gold. There's a diplomat that is heading to Talabheim. So it's kind of in the same direction, but off kilter a bit.
Hmm.
That one's paying 750, and there is the only description for the third one is a tax collector. That is
Rotten motherfucker. No.
sorry, not tax collector.
Tax collector.
Administrator
Got a tax collector.
who wants protection for census collection.
Yep, that
And he's
government.
still stopping at several villages on the way south. But his instead of stopping at about 5, like the caravan is, he's stopping at about 3.
How much is he paying?
Stopping a boat.
He's paying 1,200.
And just curious if along the way we stopped by a shipyard to see how much or whatever, the boat yard or whatever, to hire a boat to go directly to Altdorf, what would that cost us?
I need to find it.
Just because I don't want to railroad my friends into making money if they want to expedite the process.
Good for checking. While he's doing that and checking for the magic item, I'm gonna get a lore download from somebody who knows shit. What is the Sea of Claws and Sea of Chaos? How dangerous are we talking about here?
Basically, it's a fantasy ocean that has fun species in it, and also is patrolled by. You've got random chaos fleets doing their thing. You've got undead vampires who actually use guns, uh, who are all over the ocean. Well, they do their thing, so you can find different fleets of them. So yeah, basically think of Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one. The Black Pearl. That kind of situation going on.
So if we wanted to do a pirate arc, all I'm hearing is that to visit the elves, we can become
There's no
pirates. Just
There's no
just an
guarantee
option.
Altdorf has what we need.
Exactly.
No, but it's closer,
And
It's worth considering.
and it has less algae.
Hey, Rye. And while we're waiting for him to look up that uncommon magic item, I would tell the party as well. I don't know how well my name will help anything in Altdorf. I kind of have a reputation. It kind of hasn't been fixed yet. Maybe they'll hear about what we did in Middenheim and that'll help, but somebody else will have to do most of the talking until I know where I stand there.
Okay, we'll put it talking.
Okay, so prices for boats for renting. If you just wanted to go with your basic rowboats, completely uncomfortable and like barely held together, to buy it, you're looking at 75 gold each. They'll hold 3 people plus supplies, so you need 2 of them. Or you can go bigger. Keel boat to rent would be 1,500 gold.
And is there
We've done
anybody actually just heading south?
Yeah, trade boats.
Let's find out.
Because we could try to get on as guards on them. I don't know if they would accept any, but
I assume with the rowboats we'd have to pull over at night and still camp along the way.
well, that, and it's also rowboats, so you can get tired out quickly.
Yeah.
Well, we're following
It's
the current.
downstream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
not going to
but
be.
you're still rowing.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
less strenuous, but
fast.
that's not
You're
saying that it's not strenuous. Sorry,
yeah. So
continue.
there is a trade ship that is planning to head down to Altdorf. It, however, is not leaving in for another 4 days.
And how long would the trip take on foot?
150 miles.
Let me find the thing and I'll tell you.
Isn't it like 11 miles a day on foot? But most of the ones we'd be stopping if we were making money, if we were going there ourselves, that'd be like
Why don't we
13.
just get like a cart and just go? It doesn't have to be like a full-on wagon.
No, we could, if we're gonna go at the land route, I would suggest either doing the what was it, that the first one for 1,000 or the third one for 1,200.
That would probably faster.
Both of them
So
are making stops, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so traveling overland, 150 miles will take you 50 hours of walking time, and that's
Mhm.
assuming you travel for 8 hours in a day, stop, rest. You can push past that, but for every hour that you go past the 8 hours, you take a Constitution saving throw at the end of the hour of +1 for every hour past the 8 hours, and then if you fail that, you suffer exhaustion.
And how fast is the boat? A rowboat? Or the ship with the...
Yeah, the trade ship.
I need to pull it up here.
Because that's 6.25 days by foot direct without making stops.
Mm-hmm.
So if the boat doesn't leave for 4 days...
So the other thing is like that's just going at a normal speed, right? So you could go faster, be down to 37 hours of walking time, but you're at a -5 penalty to your passive perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be easier to get ambushed.
Well, it's looking like it's going to take, what, 7, 8 days? Walking.
We might as well do a caravan protection while being paid to travel.
I agree with Bird.
Let's do that 3-day one.
3 stops one.
The
Yeah,
three
that
stop,
one.
the 1,200 one, the third
The
option, the one for
census
the administrator.
administrator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Was he a
shoot
census
him...
administrator? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
he
I'm
was.
going to shoot him dirty glances. Damn government.
Well, as we go out, I'd like to stop to get provisions for the road. Good provisions.
I like making money. I can set aside my distaste for large government.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how they break things down speed-wise for like vehicles.
Yeah, no shit.
Because like
Maybe.
your walking speed is how the one mod in here judges things, but boats it does it by miles per hour.
Rowboating on the river. No. I think we all decided that we want to make the money for escorting
Yeah.
the administrator just to make it easy on you.
That makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Is that 1,200
yeah,
gold
so-
a person or 1,200 gold total?
It'd be
Total.
1,200 total.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any
And,
money's good money.
Yeah, I'd like to buy high quality provisions on the way out of town. Or before we meet up with the guy, either way.
If you're buying for the whole party, you can use the party money.
I would
Thought the
like...
party didn't have money.
Party has 3 platinum at least.
3 platinum.
How
Okay,
much
so if
could
you're looking
food
for
cost?
the high quality stuff, like what do you mean by high quality provisions? Like, tell me what you're looking for.
Something kind of like above the level of hardtack, maybe some good dried fruits and meats for the trip. Something like that.
Okay. Enough to cover your trip south, right? The whole trip?
Yes, and for the party too.
It'll cost
So
you about
that's
50
5.
gold.
50 gold, I'll do it.
Do you pay for it all? Or do you want to pay
Yeah.
20 and party's 30?
Oh, I got it. 50 gold.
While he's out shopping for provisions, I stop by the highest, fanciest clothing store, and I look around, find a very nice debonair outfit that looks suitable for adventuring on the road, but like a noble would wear on the road. And then I walk out of the store without buying it, speak my armor's command word, and make my armor look like that clothing.
Do you make your armor look like it before you leave?
After I step out of the shop.
Yeah, he said after.
I walked in, looked around, walk out, and then as I'm walking down the road, I speak the command word, and it shimmers and...
Is it 50 gold per person for travel?
No, that was for
No.
party.
Yeah, Tobias bought
Okay.
50 gold's worth of
Um,
rations.
Ezekiel, roll a
for the
stealth
party.
test for me.
Oh, shit. It's a good thing I'm good
Somebody's
at
about
stealth.
to be screwed. Oh, I saw that
That's a
4.
decent roll.
22.
Because as you're walking out and you're starting, like the crowds are starting to form on the streets as the city really picks up. You look over your shoulder as the proprietor of the store steps out, just takes a look around, and you feel his eyes pass over you, but he doesn't notice you in the crowd.
And then I shimmer, and I change.
If you had rolled lower, he was calling the guards.
For what? I didn't steal anything.
You
Intellectual
walked out of
property.
his store without giving him money in something that he made. As far as he can tell, he stole it. Didn't happen. Don't worry about it.
Question. Is potions a thing? They can
Yeah.
get here. Okay.
What would you like for potions?
Health. And basic stuff. Just don't have to heal all the time.
If
I mean, potions do help you to keep alive.
how
Especially
much
when
would
hit
it
by
be to
fireballs.
get the stuff to make health potions
Yeah,
rather
which
than
is
just the
cheaper.
health potions themselves?
I don't have healer's kit or what the fuck it's called to make health potions.
The alchemist
That's
tools.
No, the herbalist.
Or, yeah,
That's
herb.
okay because I get to do things.
What kind of things?
Oh yeah,
That's why I'm asking about how much stuff is.
your little stupid tool that you bought can help there.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking how
My
much it is
question is,
to make a health potion versus
you have
buying
the
one.
proficiency in the supplies, but do you have the knowledge?
Hmm.
That's the better question.
How much for a recipe for a health potion?
There
Ezra,
you go.
what map are we supposed to be on? The city or
The city map.
world? Okay.
Yep, city map. We
You can
haven't
be on either,
transitioned to
really.
world map yet.
Yeah.
And the music? Assemble?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure because I'm usually the issue.
Yeah, you are an issue. I mean, the issue.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah, so how much is a recipe for a health potion? That is a good idea.
Roll a persuasion.
Him or me?
Whoever's looking for the recipe.
If I get word that he's looking for the recipe, I will try to find it.
I will give you an assist and let you roll twice because I'm not good at persuasion.
Take
That's fine.
guidance. Add a d4.
Oh. Okay, plus a d4.
Yeah.
Do you roll guidance at advantage too? Just curious.
I
No.
think guidance
Nope,
just
so
gets
it's
added onto it.
23. As the, protectors of the city, we're leaving now to go on a holy mission of conscience, and we could greatly use your assistance with a recipe to make ourselves potions along the way.
We have a mission from God.
I'll
We need to
gladly
build
tell.
up
I
a
was just
band.
I'll gladly
I
tell
was just thinking that.
anybody we come across that you were the one that helped us.
The issue I have with giving you a recipe is you're taking money from my pocket. So
What
if I were to
we
give you
buy
a
several of your
recipe,
potions plus the recipe?
that is neither here nor there. If I give you the recipe for a basic health potion, 1,000 gold. Greater healing potion, 2,000 gold. Superior healing potion, 6,000.
How much is just a regular ass potion?
Just a potion
That
itself?
was 1,000.
No, just buying the potion from the
Just buying the
Oh.
potion? um, because you've done so much for the city, and you're such great heroes, I will sell a regular healing potion to you at the low price of 50 gold. The greater healing potion I would sell for, because I like you, 110. And superior, I actually don't have any in stock right now.
Can I insight check against these prices to see how we're actually being treated?
Fire away.
Because this is how business works in the fucking Empire.
Oh god.
I'm so bad at business.
Do you think these are completely fair prices from everything from your experience with healing potions, which is not much of buying them? Yeah, this all sounds fair. You think you're getting a good deal?
How
Okay, give me 2 of the medium ones.
So 2 greater, so that's
Yeah.
220.
And then give me like 3 of the regular.
And then 150.
370 gold. I'll take it from my personal.
What's the name of this shop? I'm not asking the shopkeeper, I'm asking the DM, by the way. To clarify. I looked at it, the sign as we came in, or as we leave. I just want to remember the name of this shop.
Have I mentioned I hate you?
Every time we play, buddy.
The shop is Stefan's Apothecary and Wonder Emporium. Also happens to be where you bought all the magic items.
Is that Stefan with a PH or a FAN?
FAN.
Perfect.
And then there's an accent over the A.
Perfect.
Accent circumflex. Which I think is the little hat. And let's do accent aigu over the E. He's trying to be really fancy.
Gross.
And you have no idea which ones those are, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, okay, so you said 3 healing, normal.
And 2 greater.
I will give Cardinal 110 gold to reimburse her for one of those.
Ooh, thank you.
Alright, I put the potions in the party loot.
I had a greater potion from when we looted the chests.
I
Keep it
did
on
too, but I never used it.
Keep it on you.
Hold on to them.
Alright, thank you.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Are those ones in your inventory right now, or...?
No, I was
No.
trying to find them.
Okay.
They are not.
So you said there was a greater one?
2 graders,
Oh.
one for Frank, Tobias, and one for me, which we got
Perfect.
last game.
Yeah. So those are in the party loot.
All right. And how do we move them over to ours?
Should just be able to open up the party loot and open yours and click and drag, I think.
No, it just copies that. You don't have to send them things. Can get your mod.
Or I can do it. I don't know if that moves over.
I think I moved 4 over.
4.
Well, I took it down to 1.
Yeah, just drop it down to 1.
Easy enough.
I'll keep track.
Should be a total of 2 left.
You dragged one to your loot too?
I did.
Okay, good.
Hey,
Rough. Who's your good boy?
Not you.
He answered right at the time when I said that.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to do before you head out?
And 1 bottle of fine wine. 2 bottles of fine wine.
You are such a poser. You snob.
Let's just say you got that included in your 50 gold.
Okay.
Oh,
Part of your
thanks.
fancy supplies.
Well, I'll take off another 20 gold.
Sure.
I do have one last thing I would like to do. I would like to stop by the Laughing Jackass. The bar. And speak
Okay.
to Imar if he's there. Or is the Laughing Ass or the Laughing Jackass?
For the
It was the
moment, I
Laughing
thought you were
Jackass.
thinking of somebody in particular.
That was the name of the bar that we talked to Imar.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember now.
The look you gave me was like you didn't.
I had to think about it for a sec. Actually, that was the look of this motherfucker, I think.
If Imar is there, I'd like to speak with him very quickly. If he's not there, I will leave a note for him and I will write the note to you and it would be left in Thieves' Cant.
He's sitting at the same table you met him last time.
I'd like to make sure we're not being watched. I guess that would be a perception, right?
Sure.
Perfect. I feel like
You
we're
think
not
you're
being
clear?
watched. I go up to him and in Thieves' Cant, I'm just going to relay the message. The city guard might be on to your connections with the Thieves Guild. The Knack Manor's cleared and has a cavern underneath it that might be worth something to one of your benefactors someday when the city is done with it. You might want to lay low for a while or change your appearance and name, and then I'll leave if he doesn't have anything to say.
He doesn't even flinch as you're explaining this all to him.
Perfect. And I just casually, I'll buy him a drink and have it sent over as I leave. A shot of whiskey,
He raises it, thanks you, downs it.
and I walk out. I don't know how much a shot of whiskey would be.
3 silver.
Okay. Good. That's all I had to do.
Okay. Anyone else? You guys are good to head out?
Gotta keep up appearances, man. Sources gotta
I
stay
think so.
sources.
Can't think of anything else.
Okay, so you meet up at the southern gate with the administrator. He shows up with two other guys that calling them guards would be generous. It looks
Dicks?
like what?
You said calling them guards would be generous, so the other would be dicks?
Well, I mean, they're bodyguards, but they don't look like you spend a lot of money on them.
Okay.
What's the administrator's name?
I knew you were gonna ask that. The
That would be
administrator's
fresh.
name is Hans something something.
Gruber.
Hans
We don't
Gruber.
have a disguise tower.
No.
We don't have a skyscraper.
It's Hans something something.
Like SOMFING? Something?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's
But it's a
why he
hyphenated
did,
name.
you know,
So it's something hyphen something.
It's pretentious, just like I would expect. And I'm gonna look at the two guards and go, and your names are?
Han just waves his hands. Don't worry about them. It's not
Well,
important.
what if we're attacked? You know, I need to know who to direct and what to tell, so I can tell them what to do.
You need German names?
The first one is Tai, and the other one is Sun.
I and Sun. Got it. Is that SUN or SON?
Two N's.
Two N's with an O?
Yes.
Perfect.
Dude,
I
you
just gotta
suck
get it.
so
The
bad.
O, the O with the line through it.
Perfect. Alright. I shake everybody's hand and I introduce our party.
They look like they're just here for a paycheck. Okay, so you guys head out, and let's roll some dice.
Here's me something. Yeah. Ooh.
Did I say for you to roll fucking
You
dice?
said-
I didn't think so.
You said roll some dice, and I did.
No more alcohol for you.
Is that his laugh? Dude.
Yes, I was laughing. I'm imagining the owl doing that.
He got into the tankard.
Don't mind the owl. He partied a little too hard last night. He'll sober up eventually.
Okay, so you guys head out from the south gate, and you stick to the road as you initially start moving south. The first day, nothing happens. Why is it not letting me move this?
Oh, I should probably switch to the old world map.
You probably want to select a token instead of ruler.
No, I was on elevation, seemingly. Okay. So your first day of travel, there's nothing's going on. As you get to the second day, you come across the first village that Hans wants to stop by, and roll perception. Actually, hold on. Let's do this the smart way.
I don't think we're capable of that as a group.
No, because our characters are not on the thingy.
They are.
No, as in like the smart way. Guys, come on. Damn.
I got it. I'm with you.
Thanks, Boone. Also, you suck.
I know. Ooh, so perceptive. Usually so bad.
Hey, it could be worse.
We kicked some ass.
I'm surprised. was in a single roll below 10. That's impressive. Okay, so you're going through the first village, and it seems like this is one of the ones that was overrun by the attack. There's very clearly signs of death, destruction. Houses were burned, fences destroyed. You see the occasional livestock carcass just rotting in the sun, but you don't notice any human remains.
Are there still live people, or is it just empty?
Empty.
Oh no. They were probably taken to be enslaved and or tortured or brutalized.
Maybe they just escaped.
Or
Jesus
recruited.
Christ.
No, those who would have escaped would have made it to Middenheim from here. That's just me speculating as Ezekiel, I don't know. But as Booty, I don't know. But
You move further south into the woods. Third day, nothing really creeps up for you. As the fourth day dawns, you break camp, you start moving further into the woods. You notice something's changing with the trees. Trees go from your typical lush, verdant forest to something a little more sickly. Every now and then you'll come across a tree that looks like it's rotted from the core outwards. And as you keep moving further into the woods, that happens more and more frequently until you get to a point that the forest is starting to look like this.
Oh, that's pretty. But terrible, but pretty.
I like that delayed, but terrible. But yeah, it is very cool.
I'll get you all to roll another perception check.
I would also like to roll perhaps a nature, just to maybe investigate what's up. If we can find a cause or something.
Yeah, you can do the nature check separately.
So,
still really good.
So the one thing that stands out is nothing. You don't hear anything. As you were going through the woods, there was always that background hum of insects and birds and small creatures running through the leaves. You hear nothing. It is dead silent.
I'm going to be keeping a wary, watchful eye around on the surroundings as I'm ready to either light something on fire or, smash something in.
as I study, like, perhaps the soil, is it the soil that's tainted, or does it look like it's more of the plants?
So you
Ooh,
bend
that
down,
doesn't
you
work.
run your hands through the soil, and even like just a quick look, you can see there's no nutrients in it anymore. You reach out, you touch a branch on a tree, and you don't even like grab it, and it just crumbles at your touch.
Did we burn it?
It's not burned, it's all rot.
No, I mean, I was asking the party.
Oh, should you burn it?
Should we burn it? I don't think it's
An
good to
entire
leave it like
forest?
this.
Oh,
Well, it's not an entire forest, but it's a
you
big
could start
section.
it might start a wildfire.
You very quickly, like, I start reaching for my hammer, about to start making fires.
No. We're not burning down the forest.
Let's not turn into a simple forest fire to an apocalyptic fire. Because the elves in the surrounding areas might be pissed.
Well, something's wrong here. All these trees are dead, and it doesn't cure them just to leave it here. If we burn it, if we wipe it away, Something
It
new
is
can come in.
probably tainted from the chaos.
Chaos.
Plus, we don't know how
Anything else.
quickly
There's so
these
many
things
different
will.
things in this world.
We
I
don't
mean,
know.
we could technically.
I would assume nothing.
Are there any other villages? Well, never mind. Forget what I was going with.
We could end up starting a fire that outpaces our ability to run it.
Run away.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's
I
just take
don't-
note of the location and get it to
mean,
the authorities to handle
Have you
it.
ever been in a fire from dead forest? It is actually very terrifying, and you won't be able to run away from it. I've been in such of a forest fire, and it's very scary.
I believe it. Yeah.
We can let the keepers of this land know, and they can come take care of it.
Mm-hmm. With more equipped
I'm going to be a little
resources.
disappointed, but I won't take out my hammer.
So while you're having this conversation, Hans looks at you guys and says, "The village I need to go to is that way." He points further into the corruption.
On foot.
There we go.
So as you're going through the woods, it gets to about midday. Let me just adjust the time here, just so we're keeping track of it. And as you start to come out to a clearing, and you find the village. But again, you hear nothing. And
Marco!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
you hear nothing. And unlike the first village where it was clear battle damage happened here, this place looks like it's been abandoned for about a century. The wood is all moldy and rotting, and like you touch the occasional like the door and it just kind of falls off the hinges, and the iron for the handles and the hinges are rusted to like the metal is just absolutely brittle and just crumbles in your hands.
I'd like to ask, what's his name?
Hans?
Hans,
Hans, the last time this area had the census done.
he looks at his notes and goes, 6 months ago.
I'd like to look around the village and see if there's anything I can find. That might explain anything, or like what happened to anybody, etc.
I'll go with the dwarf.
Okay. So you start to move into the village.
Is this Middenheim territory still, or does this fall more under Altdorf?
This is still Middenheim, but it's close to the border.
Okay.
And I'd like to be like wary of my surroundings, so I'm gonna have my hammer ready in case something tries to pop out and take my
Are you
trade.
trying to be sneaky?
Not sneaky. I'm just ready for action.
Okay. So as you move towards the village, you do see a faint glimmer of light. Looks like just a single lantern that's illuminating the center of the village. And you see this figure just standing in the shadows.
I lean over to Bertram. My friend, perhaps you could use your divine senses.
Who? Who?
Mm.
Who?
I see that figure and I immediately put on the dread helmet.
So Calgar, you look over as Tobias pulls the helmet on, and you see his face disappears in shadow and his eyes start to glow red.
Interesting. And I'm gonna keep my focus on the other guy.
Okay, it looks like he's just. Let's bring you over to where you can see a bit better. So you're coming in from the north, and he's standing in the middle of this clearing, and it looks like he's just inspecting every building, almost at a loss for what he's like. He looks like he has a purpose, and he feels lost because he can't do what he's there to do.
Okay. I'd like to approach him.
I am going to
Carefully.
cast Divine Sense to see if there's any celestials or fiends or undead within 60 feet.
You detect nothing.
I figured as much.
I'll shadow the dwarf.
And I'm gonna stop about here and call out to him.
He
Hello
turns.
there.
He turns to face you at the sound of your voice. Doesn't say anything.
All right.
Is
Be you friend or foe?
it daytime or darkness here?
It's you know it's roughly about noon, um, but just the amount of light coming through is closer to twilight.
All right. Well, then I'm going to bring up dancing lights and slowly move them out towards the center of the village.
Would you like all four?
Sure.
And sorry, Calgar, you asked him what was the question?
Be you friend or foe? And I'm gonna have my hand, like my hammer is in my hand, just
Are you a
ready
good
for
witch
either
or a
option.
bad witch?
So, from what you can tell, he's staring at the building to the south, and you can barely make his voice out of the distance. He just says, "Friend, for what it matters."
Okay. I'll put my hammer in its loop on my belt, and I'll continue walking forward.
I'll approach with.
Cardinal, what do you want to check with your insight?
I don't know. What's his tone?
Depressed.
Okay.
Did you know this village?
I've served it over the years. But what happened here, I don't know.
When was the last time you were here?
2 months ago? I was here for a family. The wife gave birth twins. 2 boys. But now there's
So
nothing.
this all happened in 2 months. Under 2 months.
That's what doesn't make sense. I don't understand.
This corruption, whatever it is, has spread fairly far. Have you been anywhere outside the village? Or has been as deep into the corruption as you've gone?
The next closest village is 20 miles. And I stopped there on the way and everything was fine. And I experienced probably what I assume you did as well. Coming towards, like getting deeper into the woods, the trees were thick, and then
Everything rotting
yeah,
as if it's already dead. Which direction did you come from? We came from the north.
I came from the west.
And DM question: roughly how long have we been in the corruption? Like a rough guesstimate of miles.
Say 5 hours of walking.
So about 6 miles.
Sure, sounds good.
What's your name, friend?
Kellen.
Kellen? What? How did you used to help this town?
I'm a doctor. Villages like this, they don't get the same level of treatment that you can get at Altdorf or Marienburg. So I wander the countryside and provide my services where I can.
Grab Hans, wherever he is, and I'll ask him if he's been to this village before.
He's on the outskirts and he's just completely shaken. He's like, I've never seen anything like no, no, no. This
So
is the
you,
first time I've been sent out to do this. I've never seen no, no.
okay.
Okay, I'm gonna Oh, sorry.
Go first.
You do a thing. I was just gonna continue a conversation with
Okay.
Kellen.
While they're talking, I'm just gonna try and study and see if I can pinpoint a reason for this. Is it chaos magic? Is it coming from a source? Is it something I'm familiar with? Religious or arcana or nature?
Roll religion or arcana, your choice.
Okay. 24.
The closer you inspect some of the rotting wood, the more you're able to recognize that it is not a natural corruption. But it's not magical in the nature either. If you had to place a guess at it, you would say it is corruption from chaos.
Called it.
No, it's like Nathan knows who this is. Caligar probably does.
Would there be a source for this kind of thing? Or
Are
is
you
it a natural
asking DM or are you
phenomenon?
asking
Who are you asking?
Kellen?
DM.
You can't pinpoint a source.
I'd like to look back at Callan and say, my name is Caligar. We are heading towards Altdorf. How long have you been in the area?
I'm not sure what you mean by area. Like, how long have I been within the corrupted?
Been here within the corruption? Because you said you came from the west. From the north, we've
Maybe a
been.
day.
From the north, we've been inside this disease for about 6 miles.
I honestly, I haven't been able to. I haven't kept track of time. Um, I've been here maybe a day, searching for survivors, searching for signs of anything, and I found nothing.
You know,
Some
rough.
form of chaos. That's all I can tell about it.
Okay, well, with her mentioning chaos, could I roll like a history or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Since it has been brought up. The fun part is I can't even see my dice. It's just a shadow, so I have to wait for it to show up in chat.
Yeah, you come to the same conclusion. It's the chaos. It is corruption of chaos in nature, and the more the two of you kind of go back and forth sharing details, um, you finally put a name to it, and you say that what spreads this corruption are followers of Nurgle.
The gross people. Oh, fun. All right.
And as the two of you are talking back and forth, and Kellen
Mhm.
just kind of walks over to the side, and beside the door here, he bends down, and there's this. Your initial look, it looks like a bush that's been covered in moss and mold. And he reached out with his gloved hand and he touches it, and the mold all falls away, and out tumble a couple human bones. And he looks at it and goes,
Grody.
I have a feeling, I don't even want to say it, but I think I know what these are.
Believe it's the villagers. I don't believe anybody made it out of
And then he kind of stands up and looks around, and you can see his eyes are stopping on several of these same kind of clumps just spread all around, whether it's looking through the windows into the buildings, through the broken walls, even just out in the middle of the ground. And he's like, I think you are absolutely right. All the villagers here have fallen to this rot.
Then perhaps it's best we get moving.
here. All right.
What
So
we
DM
need to
question,
do is
since
burn this village to the ground to cleanse from the chaos.
we might slow it down, but DM question. Since we are heading south, did we deviate from the main path to Altdorf terribly far, or is it still? Are we still on that general southern direction, and we're getting deeper into the disease?
The village isn't that far off the main road. Like there's a little side branch that took you off by a couple hours.
Okay. Hmm.
Let's do the same thing we did before. Take note of the location, approximate it, and move on. Because I don't think 5 people setting fire to a village is going to be effective. But if you have other ideas.
Burning the village
I
won't
mean,
stop
his
this. We
favorite
would have
spell of
to.
create bonfire would do the trick if it's
I mean,
rotten.
yes, I can light everything on fire. Yes, for sure. Completely agree. Um, Back in character. Burning the village probably won't stop this, but I will at least go around and give these villagers a better burial or
I'll help you with that.
what have you. I would suggest not touching them, and
How
so
the fuck?
just stand back. I'll take care of it,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm gonna go around and start burning all of the clumps. The less contact that you have with that anybody has with
Don't
all of
breathe it
this
in either.
is better.
I
Yes.
wrap my face with my scarf and I'm just gonna do some prayers for the fallen.
I'm
Okay.
gonna sit on the ground and ritually cast Unseen Servant, keeping the mask on. So 10 minutes.
I roll a perception check. I'm looking out past the village, just seeing if there's anything moving along the outskirts.
Yeah, fire away. you see a shadow. It's like almost a human shape going past between the buildings here and moving northwards.
Who's nearest to me? Tobias and Cardinal. I'm gonna whisper to them movement to the north and what is that? West?
West?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movement to the
Northwest.
northwest, moving away from the village. And then I'm going to move stealthily up to this corner to try to catch eyes on it if it continues moving that way. I'll roll stealth.
I'll stop my
I'd like to
casting.
think. Okay. I'd
now.
like to think I would notice your dancing globes, dancing lights moving, and I'll kind of put Callan behind me and step forward in a defensive stance, getting ready for combat, because I don't know what you're up to.
I will casually
Okay.
move in that direction.
Zeke, you think you are sufficiently sneaky?
I'd like to peek around this corner and try to see if I can pick that movement back up.
Okay, roll a perception. You don't see any movements around the corner in front of you, but you do hear. It's not even so much you hear like the grass moving, but you hear a presence behind you over here.
I don't want to charge after this alone because I'm not dumb and I've learned my lessons in D&D. And I'm
You
going.
Sure? You sure?
I'm keeping an eye on you. At a distance.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
I
tell anybody about the funny feeling is the important part
no.
right here.
I
I shall be your escort.
cast darkness
I can't see shit.
right here. And I will do this. Do I get advantage if I'm in darkness on stealth?
Sure, why not?
Technically, he does, and hence the rules.
Yep, but this is my decision because I know why he's doing it.
And I'm going to circle out of the
Backstab.
darkness into the woods towards that sound behind the trees.
Okay.
Callan, stick close. We don't know what. There's something out here. Move up between
with
the three of us here.
With my perception of 18, do I hear his little feetsies wander off?
You feel a brush as he starts to move, but you have no idea which way he's gone.
I am going to go that way.
south. Yep. I rolled a d10 to figure out which way I was going.
If you die, it's not my problem.
And I will continue to stealthily follow the noise alone.
Your voice cracked when you said that.
See?
Hey, I am gonna go
Darkness.
look at something spooky and might die Is it the BBEG? I don't know.
I would never do that to somebody.
I'm gonna try and help him. When I see the darkness disappear, I'm gonna try and extend my senses to track the blood of the creatures in the area and do blood puppet, but not on Zeke, on the other creature in the area. So if it's within 60 feet,
You
largest
reach out
dollar.
with your magic and you don't sense anything.
Huh.
So Ezekiel just disappeared into the woods.
Oh, I'm not controlling your corpse. I'm trying to sense the other guy.
That message wasn't meant for you.
Okay. Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be sneaky about this.
We could go to the
Dra-
Whisper channel.
I was gonna
We,
just
we,
say
we
that.
could, but I also remember a message that you sent me earlier today that I was
Right.
kind of going along with, and I was hoping you'd play along with it too.
I'll drop the darkness after this starts. I don't know how to. Oh wait, I just gotta stop concentrating. That's how I do it. But I'm not there. So yeah, I just ask, what is it you would have me do?
Please bend over and drop those trousers and cough.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this.
It's hammer time.
I'll recast darkness centered on myself. But that would also, people would know where I am because they'd see a big circle of darkness.
You can cast darkness on like a piece of clothing or something, and
Yeah, that's what
the
I'm
globe
saying.
can
I'll
follow
I'll
you.
cast it on my armor.
Mm.
Or I'll say I will now. Do you know where or which direction? Thank you, my lady. I'll see that it gets taken care of. And I'll make my way back. I can't tell you guys everything. What I
Okay.
can tell you is I can't leave this area till we find the source of this corruption and destroy it.
You
Because
can't because it will kill you? Or
I am forbidden from discussing it without severe punishment to me. What I can tell you is that I know that the corruption, we have to find the source and destroy it. Otherwise, I think the things that are dead here can be reborn in a corrupted way that could be used against us in any coming fights of chaos. But just destroying what's here isn't going to do it. We need to find the source and destroy it.
And
I-
fire doesn't work?
I wasn't given any of that information. I can't tell you how I got that information. All I can
Do
tell
you have a
you...
direction?
No, just that we...
Okay.
It's somewhere in these woods. It's everywhere and nowhere. And I have no clue what that means.
I would assume that means that the entirety of the disease itself is the problem.
But there is a source.
There is a source that is causing the corruption, and I have to destroy it. I can't leave until I've destroyed it.
Okay.
What severe consequences that will bestow upon you and giving up your sources, because each time you disappear from the party, it's very questionable if you're going to be with us or against us. For right now, I believe you might be an agent of chaos. An agent of chaos might, of course, say defeat the corruption in this town just to cover up one's purpose.
If I
I
have
think you-
ever done anything towards chaos that should give you any insight as to my purpose here, it has been that I have been swift in rooting out the corruption of chaos. We all have things in our past or secrets we can't discuss. You've seen me do things that you know are not just roguelike. I'm not just a thief or some secret agent or something for the Empire. There's another task. And I'm forbidden from discussing it, much the way that you are sworn an oath to the church that you worship in, or Cardinal does herself. I serve a power too, and I am limited in how I can discuss it. I can tell you that I've been given some insight and an instruction to find the source of this corruption and destroy it, so that the scales between life and death don't fall into disarray.
You've been given a task, but not insight.
The information they were able to provide is limited.
Well,
sorry, continue. I was
No,
just thinking out loud.
go for it.
No, you go. I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry. Continue on.
I'm just gonna say, at least we know there's a source. How do we go about finding it? What kind of thing could create this level of chaos?
It would be a new cult. Well, not a new cult. It would be a cult towards the chaos god of Nurgle. And could I do like a perception check or something to kind of tell which direction the disease forest is worse
gets
like
worse.
which direction?
Yeah, roll it.
Can I assist him in that?
Sure.
Can I make that an investigation?
Yeah.
Cool.
Roll it
Awesome.
with advantage. I'll assist you.
So you're able to tell that it seems like the corruption started coming in from the northwest, which would track with the path the army took as they came in and invaded.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
All right, well, I think
So-
we can do this, but if you're not going to tell us why, that means you owe us big.
I don't think it's just him. This seems like a very rapidly growing problem.
Well, yes, I
Yes.
agree, but some magical force is telling Ezekiel he must do this, but he can't tell us who. So I'll say we can join him, we can go along with him, but if he's not going to tell us who or why, he owes us.
I think that's fair.
Well, you owe me no such favor. I
Callan,
understand, kind of.
By talking openly as much as I have, I've already risked punishment, so it can't, it could only get worse for me if I talk more.
I appreciate what you have shared. Now then, shall we try and find this thing?
Sounds good.
Sounds like that plan. Callan, what do you plan on doing? If you're not a fighter, I would very quickly suggest to leave the diseased forest as fast as you can and try to find the local guards to inform somebody of what's going on out here.
Maybe we can just have Tyson and Hans and this guy just stay close, but not in immediate line of danger. I would want them wandering the forest by themselves, honestly.
Where's the next city that Hans has to investigate or census?
The next town, as Callan said, is about 20 miles away. And
it's about 2 days.
Is that the one that Hans needs to census? He had 3 towns. We've been to 2.
Yeah, that would be the third one. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he could just take Kellen's word for how many people were there.
You want me to take the word of this doctor who I've never met before, who we found in a dilapidated and rotted out village, that the place he came from is healthy and fine, and there's the expected number of people that are supposed to be there? Yes. Yes. I would much rather do that and head back to Middenheim and feel much safer behind those tall, thick stone walls.
Well, from what Callan said, keep going south, it gets safer. If you head back north, it gets more dangerous.
No, we came from
Callan
the north.
came from the west.
Came from the west.
Oh. Well, the next town's where Callan came from, right?
This corruption seems to be coming from the northwest. So
okay.
Heading south should get you out of it, but there's no way to know how much farther they would have to go. We do know that if they head north, they have to go about 6 miles.
But then Callan also said the next town is fine.
Yes, which way do you want to go?
That's roughly 20 miles. We could.
Hans wants to go back to Middenheim.
Alright,
Will we get our payment?
Two feasible options to make sure that these people stay alive. And I agree with Cardinal, sending them off on their own, probably a bad idea. We could take the rest of today and escort them northward out of the diseased forest, and then we separate and we continue on to the northwest to follow the corruption on our own. Or they come with us northwest following the corruption, and we do our best to try to keep them alive.
Let's escort
I think the first option
them
sounds better.
out of the corruption and then backtrack.
Well, Hans's job is to hit the 3 towns on the way to Altdorf.
The last town that Hans has to do is the one that Kellen just came from. He said that he is willing to take Kellen's word for how many people were there, and he will go back to Middenheim having completed his job.
Well, his job's complete in Altdorf.
We know it gets better heading back the way we came from in about 6 miles.
Hans pipes up and says, my job does complete in Altdorf, yes. I can also just send a messenger with the information. I do not need to go there.
We can take the message for you.
That works too.
Will we get our payment? Or
Yeah, of
most
course.
of it.
You did your job.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think we're in agreement.
Well, I think
As you're having your conversation, Kellen does step forward and says, "From how you're explaining this information you received, I don't know if what you're gonna find is in the woods."
Where would we find it?
It's the one thing you mentioned, that it's everywhere and nowhere. It's not. To me, it doesn't sound as if there's a specific source of corruption for this event. If whoever gave you that information is worried about the scales between life and death, to me, as someone that has no experience dealing with whatever it is you deal with, that seems more dealing with the corruption as a whole, and I would interpret it as breaking some of Nurgo's power over the entire world. Find the source, the general source of corruption. Because you can wander through the woods, you will find dead things, you will find rotted plants, you will find hovels that have been just succumbed to time over a rapid, like a short period of time. But if you can break the hold and reduce the power, that might be what they're looking for.
How does Nurgle's power come to be? What is his domain and how do we destroy it?
Prayer.
If there was a
It-
quick answer for that, somebody would have found it by now.
You said prayer?
As someone who deals with disease on a regular basis, Nurgle, there's no way to say this without seeming to be one of the followers, like the corrupted ones. Nurgle can be misunderstood. If someone falls to the plague and the pain of it racks their body, their cries for help and salvation can be heard by gods of healing and by Nurgle. It's just how they go about helping that person are two very different methods. Gods of healing will destroy the disease, bring them back to what they were. Nurgle will destroy the sensation of pain and the fear of death and the possibility of death. And in a sense, they will be reborn as one of his devoted.
I think it's my domain. Perhaps I can try. I'm just gonna sit down in the middle of this place and try and connect to the gods and see if I can find a way to help with the divine power somehow. Get some sort of insight.
Roll a religion.
Okay.
I'll walk around the perimeter of the village in kind of a patrol pattern, just keeping an eye out.
So as you sit
Shanked.
down,
Kidding.
what?
Nothing.
You sit down,
Bird
you
did
focus
birthday.
on any divine energy you can feel, and the only thing you're sensing is more lingering emotion from the people that lived in the village. You can feel the hints of their fear as they watched this rot moving at such a pace they couldn't stop it. Like, they watched their arms fall off from the gangrenous and the dissolving of the tissues and the flesh melting away. and you feel the despair they felt, and then you feel nothing as death took them. But a divine, you keep searching for the divine, and you feel nothing but emptiness.
In that case, I'm gonna switch tactics to try and bring a sort of enlightening presence into the area. Trying to assuage some of that fear, try and dispel it somehow.
Roll the religion again.
Okie dokie. $20.
With everyone, like the ones that are still standing around you, they notice that change in your demeanor. Like you get more of a focus. Like sweat starts to run down your face. You're trying so hard to change, and you're still not feeling any different. You're just feeling an absence of everything. The fuck was that?
I don't understand. What the hell are we supposed to do?
Being told that he cannot leave the area
Well,
before we have to destroy this corruption.
More of just that is the task that I have to complete, is destroy the corruption. But if there isn't a source here, then I have to move on in search of it, even if that takes us to Altdorf or wherever.
I don't think it's out of place. Remember, it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is wherever the answers are as to rooting it out, that's what I have to accomplish.
If we're going to continue on to Altdorf, then we should all just stay together as a group.
And Hans looks and goes, "Wait, are you talking about me? You want me to go with you still?"
If we're not going to head northwest in following this deeper into the corruption, if we're going to head south and to get out of it again, then there's not a good reason for you to not come through.
The walls are thicker in Middenheim. I feel safer there. See, I didn't want to do this job. I'm a pencil pusher. I usually just deal with the city census, but the one that dealt with the outlying villages, he got killed in the attack, and they said, "Here, Hans, go find out." I want to go back home. Fuck this shit.
Alright, let's escort him
Okay.
out of the corruption
Rest of us are
zone.
fighters.
Escort him out of the corruption zone, that's where he wants to go, get our money, and then we figure out what the fuck to do in the meantime.
I think we should head to the
Are we
other.
heading north, or are we heading south? That's what it comes down to.
Did he seem truthful of what he just said?
100%. He does not want to be here. He's like you look at how he's been the entire trip, and like he's grumbled and hated the entire, like every step of the way. He does not want to be outside those walls.
And he was tasked to find out what's going on with the villages.
Census.
All he got told was go take a census of the outlying villages.
Hans, your duty is not complete. This is one village of many. You shall follow us to the next village and take census of what the fuck is going on besides this corruption of this one ruined town.
I
He
agree
holds
with
up
the
a piece of
bird.
paper. He's like, Callan already told me everything he needs to know about the next village. My duty is done. I'm not held to the same standard that you knights are. You want to be all hoity-toity and whatever? You go find out. I'm going back.
Just want to let you know, without an escort back to Middenheim, you are more likely to be attacked than following us to the next village.
This is why I have Ty and Son. They'll protect me.
Well, I think we should go on to the
Camera
next
pans
village
over as
with or
they start
without
tripping over
him,
themselves.
because I don't think this corruption ends here. We need to know if it's hitting the next village.
Okay.
I know Kellen was there and he said it's okay, but I bet it's not. I bet it's something's happening. Something's starting.
Word
Okay.
of mouth is not appropriate. It's better to see with your own eyes.
All right. There's a way we can solve all of these problems. First, we escort him to the edge of the corruption. That's our duty to him done.
Bag him and
Then
tag
we
him.
head to the we head to no, what?
You said yes.
She said yes. We're doing that.
I will roast you like Kentucky Fried Chicken. After this, we head to the third village, and then we do your checkup on them to assuage your fears and whatnot. Okay. And then, thirdly, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say the rest of this is going to be picked up next time.
Yep.
It is sunny outside in Germany.
The
6 a.m.
Germans have to deal with the sunlight now.
The Germans have a class at 8:30.
Maybe you should invest some blackout curtains.
Doesn't change the time.
True, but blackout curtains are fucking amazing.
It doesn't really matter if I'm tired or asleep. So, what do we think of the plan?
Bag him and tag him.
I like it. Escort him out, hit the next town anyway, and then on to Altdorf. I like that plan.
Alrighty.
Cool.
It'll work.
Well, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight for our stream. We can't wait to see you next week and pick this back up. Don't forget, give us a like and follow, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.